Hi again, everyone, and welcome back to RedHawks Weekly. Outside here at Newman Outdoor Field after a weekend sweep over the Winnipeg Goldeyes. I'm joined by Eric Peterson of the Forum and Nathan Kilcrease out of the RedHawks bullpen for today's show. And a big series win again for the RedHawks as they sweep against Winnipeg for the second series in a row versus the Goldeyes. And Eric, they like to play the Goldeyes. They might as well play them all year.
Well, the team started 2-8 and looked like they'd be in trouble, but They first went up to Winnipeg, swept them there, came back here and swept them again, kind of making up for that bad start. Now they're tied for first place here at 13-11.
It was a 3-1 victory on Friday night. Jake Labor pitched an outstanding game going into the ninth, getting all but the final out. Chase Johnson came on to close it. Saturday, it was a 6-3 win on the heels of a Buddy Sosnowski 3-run homer. And today's victory on Sunday, a 7-2 victory. Nathan Kilcrease, one of the guys in this bullpen that folks may have seen out there a few times. Nathan, you come from, you spent time in the Oakland and Pittsburgh organizations. I guess, how did you end up here is the question.
Well, I got released this year following spring training. Simi gave me a call and was like, hey, we got a spot for you here if you want it. And I actually made a decision to go somewhere else first. And ended up getting cut from that team too, and Simi stayed on me and was like, "Hey, we still want you. We still want you." So I gave him a call back and was like, "Yeah, I'll be there." And they were actually on the road, on the long road trip to Texas. And he goes, "We'll fly you out Thursday." So I was here Thursday. Team got back Friday, and here we are.
You talk about the adversity that you faced alone in this year. Obviously, you're a 5'6" pitcher. Not a lot of pitchers come off at that height. You've kind of been battling your whole life up against it, haven't you?
Yeah, no pun intended, but it's kind of been an uphill battle for me my entire life. Not many people give you very many looks when you're 5'6" as a pitcher. I was very fortunate after high school to come out and have a chance to go play at the University of Alabama. I had a good high school career, and I just got seen by the right person at the right time, and got to Alabama and still had to fight for a spot there, and ended up having a stellar career there, and got drafted in the 30th round by the Oakland A's, and it's just been an uphill battle ever since then. And I don't expect it to change anytime soon, but I enjoy it. I feel like it keeps me humble and keeps me hungry. Well,
great to have you here. E?
Any truth to the rumor that Nick Saban tried to try out at free safety while at Alabama, or anything to that?
If he's listening, I'm ready to play whenever. I'm a big football guy, so I know a little bit about football. I played a little bit in high school, but not too much. So if he wants me to play, I'll play.
Just talk about football in Alabama. Obviously, you're a big Roll Tide fan. I mean, growing up, was football the sport? Was baseball something you played early on? But when you growing up, was football what you wanted to do when you got older?
Yeah, well, I grew up a fan. Obviously, if you're in that state and you don't like football, you're kicked out pretty soon. I grew up playing basically everything I could. Really big into every sport except for hockey. We don't really do hockey down there. And then as I started to grow up, I realized I wasn't getting very tall. So I was like, football may not be the route for me to go, and I started pitching, and I had some success on the mound, so I kind of just transferred, my football thoughts, into baseball thoughts, and really used my competitive edge that I had in football and transferred it into pitching on the mound.
Now you're with the RedHawks. We know there's characters on this team. I guess we may not know, a lot of the fans may not know what goes on back there behind the wall in the bullpen. Are there a couple, what do you guys do back there?
Oh, we have a good time. I'm not sure I should say exactly what goes on back there. When we score a run, we do the Hawk's Nest. The bullpen flaps their wings and makes hawk noises. Couple of, bullpen games, just standard bullpen games that people play. We just cut up, have a good time. A lot of times, we try to stay on the game pretty good because you never know when they're going to be calling signals out for somebody to get loose, and you don't want to be the person that misses your sign. So for the most part, we try to keep our mind on the game, but we do have some fun down there.
Have you felt comfortable this year? I mean, you're leading the team in ERA right now out of the bullpen.
I didn't know that, but yeah. From the day I walked in, the guys on the team accepted me, coaching staff accepted me. Yep. We have a really good group here. It's one of the funnest clubhouses I've ever been in. The team gels really well. There's not anybody on the team that you just honestly don't like. So, I think that's why we're starting to play better. Everybody's starting to gel together, and you can really see it on the field.
All right, well, appreciate your time, and hang around here for a little bit. The RedHawks coming up are heading to St. Paul, and they're tied with the St. Paul Saints right now on top of the division. Big series coming up here.
Yeah, another big series. This Winnipeg series is huge too because you didn't want to fall back as they're trying to climb to the top of the standings. Now St. Paul's got a potent lineup. Ole Shelding is coming back to the mix. They have a couple really good hitters at the top of that lineup. So pitching, which has been really good in this stretch here, and exceptional in June, has got to keep on going here. So they need more quality starts from the guys and more good stuff from the bullpen with guys like Nathan Kilcrease and Chase Johnson and all the guys out there too.
So the RedHawks at the Saints for 3, and then back home starting Friday against Gary South Shore. Erica, who do you have for your pick this week? I mean, we did pretty well last week. CJ Rutherford I had, and you had Ronnie Burko, and they both hit the ball pretty well this past week.
I can see it kind of coming a little bit today and even yesterday. I think C.J. Rutherford, I'm going to steal your pick again. I think he's going to have another big week. I think he's starting to get locked in. He's getting comfortable at second base, playing defense there, and I think that's going to translate over to the plate as well.
Let's see Nick Jackson get out of this slump. The player of the year last year has been struggling, but let's see him get out of a slump. He's my pick. Well, that's it for the RedHawks Weekly. We'll see you next week.